I was today days old when I discovered that Itachi has two different Mangekyou Sharingans. I've been drawing this guy's eyes for so long, and I was like, why is it thinner sometimes? And why is it rounder other times? Turns out one is for the Amaterasu and one is for the other thing. What's it called? Genjutsu, or when he's like making people hallucinate and see dreams and stuff. So wild. So I don't know what the round one represents. I'd like Google it and there's like different answers, but someone knows maybe. This is the round one anyway. Landscape page. Use a pencil, use an eraser, hit pause if we go too fast. That was eyes, tilted head, 3/4 pose. The eyes are roughly the same size, even though we're in 3/4, like maybe slightly smaller on this side. So tilted head diagonally here. Start with his big old eyelashes, diagonal up, and then across the top. And we spike. Once or twice maybe. And it comes down the back. And this is kind of a thick, the dark eyelash area. And they normally put a couple of extra ones on the bottom, but we'll just draw that shape for the eye there. And like one or two. I've seen it two. It's one in this one, but I'm going to do two. Alrighty, so he's looking down at us, so down and to the right. So you do large disc circle, going up and underneath his eyelid a little bit, and then back down here. Right, now this Mangekyou Sharingan. So we have the red, so it's like a circle here. Roughly in the middle. And then on the outside, so you've got a spike, right? This is the curvy one, so we're going to go spike that way into here, right? And then the second one comes out from this, and it goes in a bit then, and then the next one goes out from there. Right, and it's just black then in around the red, like in around this little red eye circle. Okay, so that's one of his Mangekyous that I thought were just all the same, and the guy was like drawing them wrong on purpose. Ugh. Can't believe people follow this channel. So, one eye, and his eyebrow goes this way. And it kind of disappears under his headband, so it doesn't finish. His headband kind of curves over here. And of course he has those characteristic cheek lines, those things that I'm not really sure what they are. I really don't know what these represent, like. but it just makes him stand out as a character, I suppose. So this eye, measure that, right? Go diagonally down that much, and that's where his next eye starts, about there. See this? Boom. And you're lower, you're on the diagonal, so you're underneath this eye. So go up, and then across. Again, this eye may be slightly smaller than the other one because we're in 3/4 pose. Top eyelid, typical Naruto top eyelid, and then a couple of little spikes here in the corner of his eye, and then it goes back in. Okay, and he's looking down and to the right, so the red is like close to his nose, so it's over this side. And we just go up to the top of his eyelid, and imagine the circle keeps going underneath that eyelid and then just comes down in there. And then we attempt to get this red circle sort of in the middle of this. This is the center point of that spiky wheel thing. That is his Mangekyou Sharingan. So we got a spike. So we go up, kind of like that side, and then it spikes down, and then the next one comes out from there. Tricky enough now. And then we go back in, and then the final spiky one to there. We color black. Righty, eyelid line, up and over, and then eyebrow. Going that way goes underneath the headband a bit, so we just kind of stop it there. And that's a cheek line again, going that way. So his nose comes out from this point to this eyebrow, right? So it comes down there, out to the tip, and then back down. And then his nostril just there. Serious downturned mouth. This kind of thing. And then his bottom lip, like so. And then the chin, just here, goes underneath his cloak, which comes across his face. So we can see his cheek on this side, so it just comes up around his cheekbone into the corner of his eye, up around like that, and his hair then comes down that way. So that's tricky, that. It's not the easiest thing to do. It's like it dips in right beside his eye. And then the headband line will follow along his forehead over the eyebrows, sort of curving. We'll stop it there because hair. Top of his headband. It's up there somewhere. And he's all these hair spikes that come down around it. So when he does this with the hair, so it's like that, a little V. That away, and then we get the thin spikes coming down. Yeah, we just do a few of these now. This one's actually pretty long, this one. Go down behind his cloak then here. So just what way does this one go? So there's like a little line that way. And I'll do in the plate, you know, his headband plate. So it just like follows the headband sort of here. And there might be like some studs in there. And let's see, so curving. Right, and the leaf symbol and all that good stuff in there. Okay. Rest of his hair now. So it's kind of flat on the top here. Goes back. And goes down. Like that. We can see a little bit of his ear in here, but the sort of front of it maybe goes down that way. And this is like a spike, so it goes into there and then down. Behind his head then. Okay, and then so I guess I'll just do his collar, you know, for his cloak, his Akatsuki cloak. Like that. Okay. So you could leave it just hair if you wanted. You know, sometimes his hair, it's just hair. That would look pretty good. But we can see his ear in the drawing I'm drawing from, so I'm going to do that for anyone who wants to. You could leave it like that if you don't like drawing ears. Perfectly acceptable drawing. So it's a character choice, I guess. But I can see his ear here, so. I have OCD, so we're going to put in the ear because that's what I can see. If I didn't draw that ear, I'd be having nightmares about not drawing. I'm exaggerating, but not really. So what else? Collar going this away and down. And we got to see some interior stuff. So the red goes that way. And there's like a red line coming down the front of it here. His neck. And he has like a t-shirt kind of roundy, normal. I know it's supposed to be chainmail, but it just looks like a t-shirt to me. Just a couple of more hair spikes here. You know, it has this crisscross pattern on it. That's why I think it's chainmail, sort of. But it could just be t-shirt. You know, like it's Mithril from Lord of the Rings. And of course, our boy Itachi has a necklace on. That is kind of shaped like eyes. Boop. There's a red line here as well. I think it's just his shoulders then, so like this bumpy sort of folding situation. And then some folds go in this direction. And then shoulder going this way. And there he is, Mangekyou Sharingan, the roundy one. I'm sure it has a more technical name, but I'm sure someone will tell me. What's the round one do? Is that Amaterasu or the hallucination thing? Genjutsu. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you next one.